Whoa! We had some big news coming out today from Nintendo. They had an Indie World showcase, followed immediately by a Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase. Each were about 20 minutes long, so a 40-minute long presentation in whole. And I looked over every single announcement from both presentations, and we had 45 announcements to go over today. There's a lot of rumors going around that the reason why that they went ahead and shoved these two showcases together was because maybe the Nintendo Switch 2 is on the horizon soon. So they wanted to push all this remaining info out for the current gen Switch and games on the current gen Switch. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not focused on that with this video. I just want to run through all these announcements. Nintendo did just embarrass Gamescom. I'm not saying this presentation was a 10 out of 10. However, I would at least give it a solid 7, which is a lot better than the crap we got at Gamescom. And it was shorter and delivered quickly in a timely manner that respected your time. And that is what I'm going to do here today, going through these announcements. So please, if you like this kind of content, if you like me going over the game news in the USA, please subscribe to my channel, and I would very much appreciate that. So without further ado, let's get right into it. I'm going in order of what was announced, starting with what was in the Indie Showcase. They started off with Balatro doing a bunch of crossover stuff with The Witcher, Vampire Survivors, Dave the Diver, and Among Us. And it's an update that's out right now. So if you enjoy Balatro, go check out this update. I haven't played Balatro yet. A lot of people say it's a Game of the Year candidate. I'll have to check that out. But that's good news for all you Balatro fans out there. Next, we had a game called Neva coming out October 15th. I also saw Xbox had a trailer for it as well on YouTube later in the day. So this looks like a multi-platform game, which some of these will be because they are indies. Next, we had Moth Cubit coming in spring 2025. That game piqued my interest just a little bit. I kind of like that kind of art style. Next up, we got Coffee Talk Tokyo coming in 2025. I played the first two Coffee Talk games. They're not for everyone. They're not up everybody's alley. I truly enjoy the dialogue options that you get in Coffee Talk. However, I hate making the fucking coffee. I don't like making coffee. I don't even make coffee right at my own house. So, doing it in a video game, not so fun. The dialogue options, love it. Would have loved to see them go in a different direction to take it out of the coffee shop. But here we are. Coffee Talk Tokyo coming 2025. Then we have Sea of Stars getting DLC out in spring 2025. Free DLC. The Watchmaker. Thrills of the Watchmaker. Now, I played Seas of Star. I loved it. Good game. Enjoyed the hell out of it. I am not going back. Sorry, sometimes when I beat a game or I'm done with a game, I just won't return to it for some DLC. So you guys might have to let me know how that DLC went. Next up, something I truly don't give two shits about. Power Wash Simulator Shrek DLC coming in fall 2024. This is actually a paid DLC. I don't know if they could pay me to play this shit. You are literally spraying a power washer. It's, you know, it's cool if it's Super Mario Sunshine for a little bit, but when it's the whole focus of the game, holy shit, man. We got a game called Morsels coming February 2025. That game looks sick. It looks sick. It looks good. I mean, but it is kind of creepy looking, but it is old school looking graphics like I like to see from my indie games. Next up, we have the worst video game possibly in the entire presentation. Well, definitely in the entire presentation, but maybe the worst video game that was ever made. It's a game called Date Everything. You literally like date your appliances, date your lamps, and then they're people, and then you do dialogue. It is not only disgusting, gross, and degenerate, but it's the one time I would say don't buy something and it should be delisted. That is a ridiculous concept for a video game. Go fuck yourself. It's what's wrong with society. But then they followed that up with a game that I actually bought today and started playing today. And I don't really buy indie games a whole bunch because I'm a cheap ass. But I bought, what is it called? Peglin. It reminds me of Peggle, but it's got like RPG elements with a fight at the top. And you shoot out your little pegs in Peggle style fashion. And you do attacks like that. And it's made from like 7 people. And the game is fun as hell. It's in a roguelike setting. So even if you die, you just go through and try another run. But maybe change up your strategy. I already can tell you I enjoyed the game. So I've been playing Peglin already. And it, to me, was the game of the show. Then we have Wobbly Life coming out in December. December release dates is where games go to die. Pico Park 2, out now! I can't even remember what it looked like. We got Shovel Knight, Shovel of Hope DLC coming in 2025. Why is Shovel Knight still getting DLCs still a thing? Like, I love Shovel Knight when it came out on the Wii U, like back in 2014, but can we get like another sequel? Can we get something new? Can we not do any more DLC for this game, please? I'm tired of games that are taking forever and forever on their current run, whether it's Grand Theft Auto 5 or Mario Kart. Give us some new shit, please, besides just DLC. That's what I would say. Then we got Europa, which has a demo out now, and it comes out October 11th. Followed by Cuisinier, coming out January 28th. Probably a good window for them to release, considering nothing really happens in January. Then we have On Your Tail, coming November 21st. Good luck to those guys, but they definitely picked a release date that's going to be packed with other stuff that people will probably buy. Metal Slug Tactics, coming fall 2024. So I actually am somewhat interested in this. I love tactics games. Metal Slug I'm fine with. So, you know, because I like Fire Emblem and whatnot, but, you know, this tactics game looks interesting, but I have a problem. And I have a problem with games that in a late August showcase can't commit to a release date. Like, come on. It's like you bought her the wedding dress, you're standing at the altar, and she's having cold feet. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to this game, it's like you're at a presentation in late August. You say you're coming out in fall 2024 while all these other games are giving release dates out and you can't commit to a date? What's wrong with you? Then we had The Plucky Squire coming September 17th. No comment. Pizza Tower, out now. Put it on my wish list. Might check it out at some point. I love 2D platformers. I love the art style of this game. It looks fun. It looks like something that's right up my alley. I'll wait till I have a dull moment, and then maybe I'll buy it for $20 and give it a shot. Pizza Tower looks fun. Maybe it's better than Penguin, even. Has game of the show. But glad to see Pizza Tower coming to the Switch. Then we have a really cool announcement. If I like Tetris that much, I don't like Tetris all that much, but it's a really cool announcement if you like Tetris, and probably your game of the show if you do. Tetris Forever, which is coming out in 2024. It also can't commit to a date, which is sad. But you get literally all the Tetris games, all of them, put together, and playing them in a 40th anniversary celebration. So for all you Tetris fans out there, this is your game. Because now we are in the partner showcase. Pizza Tower ended the indie world. We're in the partner showcase part with Tetris Forever. Then we have Star Overdrive coming in 2025. It looked okay. I mean, it looked alright. Then we have a game that I truly I don't know how I feel. I loathe it sometimes. I love to hate it. Sometimes I think it's funny. I always have this mixed feeling when I talk about Goat Simulator. But Goat Simulator 3 is coming out to the Switch right now. Another stealth drop. We had several stealth drops today. That was one of them. That'll probably do pretty good numbers. Then we had The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky coming in 2025. It looked kind of neat. I'll have to dig more into it. Then we had Star Wars Hunters Season 3 coming September 26th. Didn't even know this game was free to play. But I honestly don't really care that much either. So there's that. I will be talking about Star Wars Outlaws soon though, so be on the watch out for that. Then we had Stalker Legend Zone Trilogy, November 2024. Again, we can't commit to an exact date in November for some reason. But maybe they get a pass because they're Ukraine developed. So, but it's good to see Nintendo getting some Stalker, getting some Shooter in there. And Microsoft, of course, allowing stuff like that to happen or not putting up a fit because they got Stalker 2 coming. And so at least Nintendo's getting Stalker in some capacity. Worms Armageddon coming September 26th. Then we have SpongeBob the Patrick Star game coming October 4th. Looks like your typical run-of-the-mill SpongeBob game. Nothing special on the graphics side, although it's shell-shaded. And I think it's probably a good move to let Patrick be the star of the show for once. We have Fitness Boxing 3 coming December 5th. Another game in December that will go to die. I'm glad the game exists for the simple fact that it gives you something to do fitness-wise for people, and it's sort of like a replacement for boxing, which Nintendo Switch Sports probably needed to add but didn't add to their service. So I'm glad to see that for people that enjoy that kind of game. Then we got Capcom Fighting Collection 2 coming in 2025. Again, probably not going to buy it because I've played all those fighting games back in the day. And also, I would need people I want to actually play with, couch co-op. And let's be real. Anybody I play with in real life in a fighting game is getting smoked. Getting totally smoked. Now, I go online, I'm the one who gets smoked. But anybody I play in person, they're getting smoked. So, that's the way it is. It's how it's always been with me. Then we got the Marvel Capcom Collection, September 12th. Altair Yumiya coming early 2025. Looks like a very Japanese-y kind of game, which might appeal to me. But man, oh man, there's so much stuff going on all the time. A lot of these games I'm going to forget about as soon as I'm done talking about them. Then we had Suikoden 1 and 2 Remaster coming March 6, 2025. That's actually the furthest game I've seen out that has a date that far out for a Nintendo game. March 6th. Like the actual pinned down date. So, I mean, if people are thinking Nintendo Switch 2 might be coming in March, maybe this is a hint it's March. Nintendo Switch 2 is coming out March 6th, but I doubt it. Has to be after that. Has to be, right? They're not going to release this game right alongside Switch 2. This is already confirmed as a Switch game. So this has to be before the Switch 2. A lot of these games have to be. Some of these don't have to be necessarily. Some of these can be on the Switch 2. But I believe this game in particular is just on Switch. Hopefully Switch 2 is backwards compatible anyway. If it's not, I will rage out in like 10,000 videos. Then we have Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake, November 14th. Wish it was priced lower. It's full price. There's a lot going on, especially in November. So this is definitely going to pass for me until I see a sale. That's the way it is. And then we have Castlevania Dominus Collection. Out today. Another stealth drop. Added to my wish list. Absolutely. It's the 3 Castlevania DS games. If you watched my top 10 DS videos, you know that I had high praise for the 3 Castlevania DS games, although none of them were number 1, but has a package, all packaged together for $25. Would have liked to see that price at 20, but at 25, I cannot complain. Certainly a better value than the Dragon Quest remake, although that's a remake, not just portings. So, I guess it's fair. But I'm definitely looking forward to playing some of that. Then we have Civilization 7 coming in February 11th, 2025. That's a big deal for Nintendo to have Civilization 7. Not my kind of cup of tea. Again, even though I play a lot of games, I've played tens of thousands of games. I've spent maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars on gaming. Probably not that much, but I know for a fact I've played a lot of games, a lot of different genres of games. I don't feel I'm that picky, but I always come off that picky when I'm going through a list of 45 announcements and I'm like, I played 2. That's just because, number 1, I try to be wise with my money. Number 2, I can't buy and literally own everything. I'm sure you guys might have 1 or 2 games you like that aren't the same that I like, and that's fine. You can let me know in the comments below which games you're interested in from these showcases, but Civilization 7 is not my style. Then we have Tales of Graces F coming January 17th. Then we have My Sims Cozy Bundle coming November 19th. That's not only a game that's not up my alley, that's a game that's negative up my alley. It was second worst game of show behind Date Everything. You're literally calling it the cozy game. Pathetic. But I will say this, if people want to buy it, go right ahead. Then we have Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted 2, Holiday 2024. We can't commit to a date. We can't commit to a month. We'll just say holiday. So what's this thing going to come out? Christmas morning? You're going to come down the stairs and say, "Ooh boy, Dad, what'd you get me for Christmas?" And you'll be like, "Well, son, I got you Five Nights at Freddy's. Help Wanted 2 for Christmas." And then the kid's gonna be like, "The fuck you talking about?" But anyway, speaking of kids game, Disney Epic Mickey Rebrushed coming September 24th. That is a double A style game in my opinion. It will move some units on the large Switch install base. Then you have Tales of Shire Lord of the Rings Holiday is all it said. Not Holiday 2024, not a month, not a day, not a year. Holiday. So maybe it'll come around once a year like Santa Claus and say, yeah, maybe it's this holiday or that holiday, this holiday. Which holiday? Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween. Probably Christmas, but holiday is all we got. Then we have the longest running, most useless franchise in video game history, Just Dance 2025 edition, coming out October 15th. Again, I don't know why all these sports games do this, or all these dance games do this, but we're going to have a game that's called something 2025, but it comes out in 2024. Use your brain. Maybe I get it for the sports games because the seasons can go past the new year, but Just Dance, this game's coming out in 2024, but you're going to call it a 2025 game. Really bizarre, but it's even more bizarre that this franchise is even alive and people still give this franchise money, and because they've driven this motherfucker into the ground at this point. Next up, we have Funko Fusion Holiday 2024. Is this the same fucking game that was really bad at the Xbox Showcase in June that was supposed to come out in September and maybe they reworked it to Holiday? I don't know. It still looks like shit if it was, and if it wasn't, it's also shit. Then we have EA Sports FC 25 coming out September 17th. Good for the soccer fans. That's what I gotta say about that. And Nintendo Switch can use sports games, so that is good. Then we have, this is a big one, but we have heard it before. If it was literally announced at this presentation, it would be huge. But, LEGO Horizon Adventures coming holiday 2024. We already know how shocking it is to see PlayStation putting a Nintendo are allowing one of their best IPs being put on Nintendo, even if it's a Lego game. But it's happening, and it's happening holiday 2024. No date committed. Again, don't like to see it. When we're in late August, commit to a fucking date, people. Commit to a date, please. A little bit. Even if you gotta, like, make it November and maybe you're ready in October. Commit to a date. Then we have our second to last game, Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma, coming in spring. I know some people that like Rune Factory, and good for them. But we get to our last game. And, you know, nothing here, like, completely stole the show. Like, something that would completely steal the show is, like, a Hyrule Warriors or something like that had something really Nintendo-related, even if it was from a third-party publisher. Like an F-Zero remake, but it's, like, Capcom that's doing it. Nothing like that occurred here. Nothing like that at all. So the big, like, bombshell announcement was Yakuza Kiwami coming October 24th. Again, is that a AAA game? Yeah. And should it be last on the show based on the list I'm seeing right here? Yeah, it should. But am I, like, fucking excited and giddy about it? Not really. But still, I thought this showcase flowed much better than Gamescom and had a lot more to say in such a shorter amount of time. And so even though, because there were so many new announcements too, even compared to Gamescom. But I thought this showcase is pretty run-of-the-mill, 7 out of 10. It was cool to see a double showcase. I wouldn't have scored either showcase lower than the other if it was separate, because you have to keep expectations in check. When a place like Gamescom is shooting the expectations through the roof, and then you lay flat, then yeah, you're going to be closer to a 0 out of 10. But there was nothing that screamed in this presentation you were going to get something spectacular. If you did, the score would have shot up to an 8 or 9 or even a 10, because you set a bar and you went well above it. They set a bar, and they met that bar. 7 out of 10. Hello, that's an IGN thing. But anyway, guys, that was the Indie World. That was the Indie World Showcase and the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase put together. And we had 45 announcements, and that's what it was. So, thank you all for watching the video, and I'm out. I got nothing more to say, guys, so peace. Have a good one.